Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles in order to help people of all walks of life achieve their manifestation goals. And on this channel, we primarily focus on SP discussions. I have two other channels, Magic and Miracles 2 that discusses all other manifestation conversations and discussions. And you can also subscribe to the other channel that I have, Coaching for Coaches. Okay, so it's obvious on that channel I discuss what I think a coach should be like on the internet. So all the information from me is below. Understand that if you want to be in coaching with me, you need to first book the first session, the first mandatory session in which we discuss your objectives, we discuss everything that is going on currently with you. But it is also to make sure that we are the right match for each other. Okay, this before you embark on this journey with me, before you invest the money, 2 to 3 months is what I recommend in my signature coaching package. And after the first session, upon conclusion of that session, if you're making up your mind to be in my coaching, you need to put yourself on what I call the waiting list. Okay, meaning you are committed. You've pre-booked a 1 month package. Okay, you don't need to pre-book all 2 to 3 months all at once. I never asked that you do, although you could. Okay, and if you are planning to do it with installments, which is offered only within United States, apologies, but that's just the affair. The state of affairs rather, then from what I understand, from what my clients told me, it is recommended that you do all 3 months at once. Somehow that's a better deal. However, you do need to pre-book to put yourself on a waiting list. You will be given a time when you can start in our first session, and you will also be given your custom schedule. So the reason I differ from all other coaches is because I take a deep dive with you into your history. This is of paramount importance for me. I don't care what anybody else is doing. I don't care what anybody else is saying. Simply superficially address your situation with affirmations and techniques is just money wasted, time wasted. I think if I did nothing else, just like said in my previous audio that I posted yesterday, if I did nothing else with people other than examine their history and pinpoint the things why it's not working today based on your mama drama panorama, as I call it, that would be sufficient. However, not only do I take you through the deep dive of your history, we spin around a lot of things. And by spin around, I mean we give it a different perspective. Okay, very often you haven't dusted off those memories in a long time and haven't spoken about certain things, maybe ever, but maybe in a long time. And so to me, my genius, so to speak, and what I'm good at is to give it a different spin, to look at things in a different perspective. This truly helps you to reinvent yourself going forward. The second part of the process, which is really, really important, is to process your emotions. Mama Drama Panorama came with a whole set of fucking emotions that chances are you carrying around today. And so these emotions like anger, frustration, resentment, fear, what have you, okay, these emotions, chances are they're still with you. Sometimes people don't realize even how much these emotions are still with them because most people they just ignore. Okay, there are most people when they do not address certain things, it's like they're hoarders with a pile of garbage in the middle of their living room pretending not to see it, and yet it stinks up, to high heavens. So this is primarily, and not primarily, this is the only reason anybody does not manifest. Okay, if you're not manifesting right now, whatever, I don't care what it is, yours p included, you haven't processed something, you haven't given it, you haven't set it in place, you haven't parted with that emotion that still fucking triggers you. Okay, so as a last step, and this is symbolic, of course, it's all custom designed. As I always say, I custom design my coaching for every single client. And I mean, the amount of dedication and time that I put in every single client, I study you. You are my job. I study you inside and out. I re-listen to the sessions. Everything's recorded, and I'm like a detective of your life. Okay, to put it all back together, all the pieces. There's certain things, the way that you say it, the emotionality behind it that I pick up on, other than, of course, the energy that you're coming in into coaching with, that I construct this image of you, meaning this is your blueprint. These are your beliefs. This is what we're working on, and working with. And so this is becoming kind of like a painting that we need to completely rework, if you will, or a car that we need to completely rewire so that it runs smoothly. And so, as a last part of my coaching, I teach manifestation, I teach you energy work. No coach on planet Earth teaches this the way I do. And it's very easy. Everything that I'm teaching is easy to grasp, easy to understand, and easy to use on a daily basis. You'll never be confused. If you're not doing it, is another story. Okay. So 2 to 3 months in coaching is what I recommend. And if you let me, I'll quantum leap you to the next timeline where you ultimately belong, where you say you want to be with your SP, with your money, with your career, with your whatever. Okay. So I don't just coach in SPs, but of course, people, the affairs of the heart just happens to be a very sensitive topic. And I understand I've been there 15 years ago. So my heart goes out to all of you. And if I can help you, please reach out to me. The emails are below. Hi, Katya. Thank you for being here. Hi, Anna. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I have a really awesome topic today, and this is how I manifest. And I keep reaching for certain things, certain ways to explain what I personally do and have done in my life, and how really fucking easy that shit is. Okay, when I continue saying it's easy, it really is easy. Okay, that people have, I mean, other coaches, other speakers, whatever, if somebody makes it sound like it's hard, they probably don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And if the mumbo jumbo that comes out of their mouth is too hard to understand and it sounds like they don't even fucking understand it, this is the reason why I think people are under the impression that it has to, like, somebody is more worthy than them, or they've done more to deserve it, or something really nonsensical like that. So I'm here to dispel all these myths. So I have a truckload of notes. Hold on, I'll show you. So please bear with me today like never before, because I am going to read things, and then I'm going to discuss, because I just want to make sure everything was covered. Okay, so this is going to be the golden live of all lives. Okay, so forgive me please if I'm reading. I normally don't, but this is going to be necessary today. Good afternoon, Anna. Good afternoon to you, Emerald Goddess. Top of the afternoon to you. So I want to begin by saying, so the topic of discussion today is having your SP on the remote control mentally and emotionally. Okay, this is so easy that by the end of this live, I hope you at least understand that it is easy. The only job then remains for you to figure out where you are on an emotional spectrum, on energetic spectrum, if you will, to really achieve resonance with your goal. Okay. So, first thing I want to say, what you desire already exists. Like this SP, that's kind of like really like a melting ice cream in your hand, wrapped around your finger, totally in love with you. Um, the proposal, the marriage, yeah, it's just the aftermath of aligning with this person. And if you want to drive anybody crazy, okay, in a benevolent sense, in a kind of like magical sense, and in love sense, stick around till the end again, but understand that it's an inside job. Okay, so there is a party going on right now on a higher frequency where everything you want already exists. Okay, this party is happening right now. This reality is in the room with you. You happen to be on a different frequency, contemplating the drama trauma panorama for the majority of the time, which is why this party, so to speak, is invisible to you. Okay, maybe it's marriage you want, maybe it's again the proposal, maybe them just simply reappearing, okay, on the landscape of your life. Okay, so this reality is already coexistent with you in the same room, and nobody has the answers in that sense. Not even I, not the most brilliant coach on planet Earth doesn't really have the answers for you as much as you do. And let me explain. Only you know the vicinity with which the vicinity with which you will describe yourself towards that goal. How are you feeling? In other words, only you know how you're feeling, and only you can decide what's going to happen next in your life. Okay. So, as a kind of like precursor to this discussion, I want to say this: it's not so much that you're waiting for them to change their mind. It's not so much that you're waiting for them to drop the third party. It is not that you are trying hard for them to fall madly in love with you. You have not decided to commit yourself to a certain frequency, to a certain reality. Okay, guys, give me a thumbs up. Do me a favor, thumb up, everybody who's watching, so that we can trigger the algorithm for more people to find out how really easy this is. And so, imagine all the realities right next door to each other in the same room with you. And if you are coming out with a decision in the morning, my SP, no matter what happened before, is I've decided they're going to be so madly in love with me, they're going to be so taken by the memories, let's just say, of us together, that on a day such as I increase this frequency connection to this reality, they will be compelled to give me a call. They will be compelled to text me. They will be compelled to take action on that something that I want them to do, whether that's an apology or a proposal, whatever, to just even pick up the phone, like I said. So, acknowledge one thing, that yes, you can discuss the drama trauma panorama, and we do in coaching, and I want you to do that. Why? Because I really want you to exhaust it one last time. Make a little show of this drama trauma panorama and just talk it all out. Okay, but at the end of the day, there needs to be a decision made. Okay, so all right, now that I am kind of like, I've explored, I've reinterpreted my past, do. Now what is my decision today that I want to make in order to create my life? Okay. So out of the myriads of possibilities, you're presented with a choice every single day. Every single day, like I always say on my channel, in one day, in 5 minutes, you can jump realities and find yourself in a reality that you've never been in before because you simply decided to. Okay. So the future outcome that you will select in this room, seeing and observing some other reality, the other reality that you will select will replace this reality based upon your decision and nothing else. In other words, I really don't want to pay attention anymore to their absence. I'm committed to their presence. Okay. And if their presence in my life is what I choose, then that's what I'm committed to. So now that I have selected a reality, now it becomes my job to activate it. And how do I activate it? With my emotions, with passion. Okay. We talked about passion in the last audio, and I promised you I will develop this topic because, again, this is how I personally manifest every single time. So all the realities and time is in time in is in one space right now, and right next to each other all the time. All the parallel realities, they're right here right now. So if you are to transfer yourself to a parallel reality, you need to understand that you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to convince anybody. You don't need to beg, plead, chase. All of that is for fucking amateurs who don't understand what to do. Your mind has to select simply a reality in which you want to receive something. In this case, the adoration, the in love feeling from this person, etc., etc. Now, understand that upon selecting Okay, nobody has the answers other than you again. All right, not even the most brilliant coach in the world, because only you will know from that moment on. How are you vibrating? Are you vibrating like you have this desire, or are you vibrating in opposition? I know you've heard this like a million times before, but there's no other words that I can offer other than those. In other words, are you engaged emotionally in feeling how you would feel when this person will arrive, and understand when they will arrive and tell you what you want to hear? And understand another thing, it's not that you're waiting for them to show up to feel this way. You need to start vibrating and feeling this way when nothing is showing itself, uh, to the best of your understanding. Nothing is showing to you that this is reality. It's taking the cue from you, from your emotions. In other words, if I'm sitting here and I want to hear from so and so, my friend, or if I had an SP that I wanted to manifest back, it's the easiest shit in the world. I need to first make sure that I understand what I want to manifest. I need to make sure that I'm clear of resentment, if there was any resentment, and I'm going to start vibrating the way that I want them to vibrate. In other words, if I'm waiting for them to reappear and tell me all these words that I want to hear, I will wait forever. And this, I feel like maybe a lot of people are making this mistake. You need to start feeling, vibrating as if you are in love. You need to start vibrating as if, hey, maybe they're lusting after you. You need to be lustful towards them. Now, it isn't, I want to be very careful when I explain this. It isn't that you're over here lustful after them and in love after them, and you're trying to convince them, even energetically. No, no, no. You are giving them no other choice other than to show up in the same way with you when you're doing it simply out of passion. Open your ears one more time. You're not doing it out of desperation, out of the necessity to convince this person. You're doing it simply out of passion and out of fun. You're playing around like a kid. I'll give you this example very, very quickly. Once upon a time, I had this whatever neighbor he was, and he had this like really annoying girlfriend who would, just like one of those loud ones, like really loud ones that you hear her voice, like, you know what I mean, from across the hall, that kind of deal. And I was like, wow, this is really annoying. I want to get rid of this girlfriend. Oh, and she made fun of me also because I have a deep voice, as you can hear. And I'm like, okay, so you're making fun of me. Let me let me show you what's possible. So I imagined that they had an argument. They did. I imagined that they split up. They did. And then I further imagined that her ex-boyfriend now, who, whatever, was ignoring me, all of a sudden became obsessed with me. Okay, so this is what's possible, but this is just playing around. Okay, and I couldn't care less about this guy. He was just making advances towards me like crazy. Okay, and he was younger than me. Anyway, side note here. So this is somebody you don't give a shit, or I didn't give a shit about. But now imagine somebody you truly are passionate about. You truly have a connection. You truly know that this person is destined for you in your life. This amplifies the passion that you really should use in your manifestations. Okay, you're the one who has to produce energy you want to receive from your SP. Okay. So if you expect them or you want them to propose to you, how the fuck does that feel for you? Now start vibrating this way, kind of like in gratitude, in awe. Oh my God, they want to marry me. You're just sitting here and like, oh my God, they want to marry me. They want to fucking marry me. I've gone on a date one time. A side note here, another story. Again, didn't have any resistance towards it because I've done this many different times just to kind of prove to myself my power, I suppose, whatever, just playing around, really, just having fun. And I met this guy a few like years ago now, 8, 9 years ago, and I didn't really like him, and I just, was again playing around and this and that. This was in the beginning when I first started coaching, so since then I don't really do things like that. But I said to him at the first date, before I even met him face to face. I was like, he's gonna fall in love with me and he's gonna propose to me for no other reason other than I wanted to receive that. Well, don't you know? Second, third date, I think he was making plans to for us to move in together. I was like, why? So he went into whole of this discussion like he wants his kids like that and he wants his coffee in the morning like that, and I'm like, no, 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 we're so that kind of. But you see, this is somebody that you don't care about. So now imagine somebody who you really do care about. Katya says, what? I've made that mistake before. Right. So you're just playing around, but then it becomes real. So just be careful how you're using these things. And now, this to say that when you're activating these energies, get ready for this to happen in that person's mind. It's almost like you should be careful what you wish for, kind of deal. Like when people tell me, I don't understand why it's not working, it's like, what do you mean it's not working? It is working. But now, again, you are the only person who will know where you emotionally, vibrationally towards this person. Again, are you remembering how they fucked up or what they did? And it's your job. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to be blunt in this, like I always am. Why am I sorry? I don't know. It's your job to work that out, provided it's workable for you, meaning like something that you can get past. Okay, that's entirely up to you. I totally support that. If you can get past it, you can get past it. Hey, you're human. All right, if there's something happened that you cannot just kind of get past, and it's one thing to forgive, but to want to be with that person, I totally understand that, and that's valid, and you should never go against yourself. Okay. um so it's thought transmission and it's feeling transmission. So mental and emotional, just like the title says. So thought transmission could be, I mean, you can reside in their head. Okay. You can reside in their head. I've done this with another, I mean, they could be hating you right now. This is how extreme it could be. And you could totally turn around this person, whoever they are, into the most tender, loving, amazing lover you've ever had. They could be totally hating you. They could not be talking to you. I've done it many times. I've done it with this example I already brought up like several times on my channel. Somebody who literally hated my guts. Okay. I'm convinced he's in love with me. When he's looking at me, when we have to, see each other face to face, he's looking at me like, I don't know, he's looking at the sun or something. With these eyes, like I know the eyes, it's like, oh no, yes. Whereas before, siren, yes, Katya. Oh, you hear them now. Last time you couldn't hear them, I thought. In the recording it went, I don't know, kind of silent. But anyway, he's looking at me with, like, the other day I saw him, his eyes were just like, I was asking him questions, and are you paying attention? And he's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. And this person hated me. And I'm sure, okay, if we haven't worked together and if I wasn't already taken, he would take me out. Um, Katja says, yeah, last time I didn't hear them. Yeah, in the recording, I also didn't hear them. So you can reside in their head, drive them completely crazy just for fun. Check it out on a person, perhaps that you don't have much resistance towards. Could be anybody, okay, like your neighbor. Just make sure that you don't drive them like totally crazy, because I've done that also. Like I underestimated my power when I was like a teenager. It went a little bit too cuckoo. Okay. I've done that to several men, really underestimating my power and underestimating the power of energy, quite frankly. But you can thought transmit to them, hey, just very lightly. See, here's the difference. One way is very light, musing, passion, emotion, projecting that passion and emotion. Kind of like, look what I can do to you. I will make you fall in love with me. It's kind of like my video on my channel, whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. Why not? Why not get your way every single time, especially if you're a benevolent person? Now, don't use it in a malicious way. Don't use it to hurt somebody. No. If you're playing around, it's fine. but if you use it benevolently, in other words. And I'm sure that people here do that. So, thought transmission, I want you to do this, but in a very flirtatious way. Kind of like, not like, I want you to marry me. No, no, no. You're like, you want to marry me, don't you? You want kids with me. You want everything with me. Just like I did with that guy. I've only known him for like 3 or 4 dates. After that, it became unbearable. I was like, okay, we're not getting married in 4 dates. Okay, relax, please. Like, come on now. This is too overwhelming. But you see, God, just laughing. Anyway, but I thought transmitted it to him, and I also felt it for him. You need to feel it. You need to catch that feeling, like Neville said. But now share this feeling with them. And when you're thinking about them, of them only in that way. Yeah, the thoughts come up. Oh, but he did this and he did that and do but do. Like, for instance, this dude that I work with, thoughts would come up throughout the time that I was changing him, like, but he was this nasty and he was that nasty and I was like, no, yeah, I know that happened, but my interest is purely in this. My is purely in turning him around and for him to be like this. Guys, when I'm telling you, he went from being like totally cruel to a lamb. Okay, to a lamb. This is my like best manifestation yet, I think, other than my sweetheart now. Seriously, like, crawling in front of my knees, like something fell one time and he was like, oh no, let me pick it up, that kind of deal. I would have never dreamt of this being like this, but I made him weak for me. Okay, so when you're making somebody weak for you, it's done telepathically. It's not done through spying on them on social media. It's not done through even like dressing up hot. I mean, you could do that, but for yourself, for your own self-esteem. But that they can love you in whatever, like, you don't even have to change anything. All you have to do is change your energy, okay, and transmit a different feeling. They're going to catch that fucking feeling, and they're going to show up, and they're going to do something to the effect of what you transmitted to them. Be very careful what you do. You're already doing this. Like, if you are really honest about your relationships in general, not just romantic, but friendships and this and that, the signal that comes out of your head, out of your mind, and continues to reproduce this version is simply because you're on that tonality, on that frequency. Again, on another frequency, this person is completely different. Okay, Emerald Goddess. LOL. Why does it seem easier to do this with someone you don't care that much about, but someone you do? Is it all the old thoughts? Well, yeah, I just discussed this. The only reason it's challenging to do it with someone you care about, first of all, because there's some drama, trauma, panorama. I mean, I think it's obvious, and you remember too much. So again, I'm going to repeat myself, but it depends on how much can get past. And I think you should really be human to yourself, and you should really allow for that. Okay, don't try to, this is like what my other point, manifesting for the wrong reasons, when you truly have like resistance galore, but for a good reason. Okay, you have every reason to not want this person, maybe, oops, to not want this person in your life because they've done a number on you. Okay, that's an extreme example. Now, it could be something in between where there's some letting go of to do. Okay, so that you owe to yourself. You really need to examine, first of all, can I get past this? If the answer is yes, through some work on yourself, because ultimately, yes, everything is a manifestation of our consciousness and psyche. If the answer is yes, then you can get there by literally, um, well, leaving the past behind and starting from scratch, starting to design this person that you will be in love with, your own creation. We're doing this game like by ourselves, so you're creating the next best thing, okay, but now intelligently, without introducing the mama drama panorama kind of situation. But yes, of course, somebody you don't have a lot of hangups with, yeah, 1 to 3, it's like this. But the idea is to get your SP right now to the point where, like, yeah, of course, before I didn't know. So it's all the story you tell. Before I didn't know. But now that I dooby dooby do. Now I'm going to make you bag. Now I'm going to make you chase. Now I'm going to make you feel so hot for me, so freaking attracted to me that you're like drooling. I mean, literally. We can go into this in coaching, it's case by case. But like I said, I could sit here right now and drive anybody crazy. People that I haven't seen in years, if I wanted to. But sometimes I just don't give a fuck anymore. Especially now. So it isn't that you're chasing the high of another person coming and telling you something. Okay? Just understand this really important point. You are the high you're chasing. You need to manufacture this. And by manufacture, I literally mean you are the remote control with all these chakras and all these emotions that you can press like on a key on a piano, and it will produce a new reality. Are you listening? This is the most important shit ever. If you can produce this feeling that will that will be responsible for this new creation, this is all you need to do. You will transmit that feeling to them. You are crazy for me. You can't help yourself. Okay, you can't help but thinking about me. You can't stop thinking about me. You can't help but think of me all day long. This person will lose their motherfucking mind thinking about you. But if underneath it you have another narrative going on, oh, you fucking motherfucker, I hate you, pa 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 pa. But how do you really feel? You know? That's what needs to kind of cleanse itself. Or is it's so hard for me? The other thing, really quick, I'm jumping ahead in my notes, is that make sure you're manifesting for the right reasons. Make sure you want this person. Make sure that there's an outcome that you will be really pleased. Make sure it's not your ego talking. Make sure you're not settling. Okay. Make sure, this is why it's so important to go through coaching and then perhaps decide if you're unsure if you want them back. Okay. Because sometimes people do change their mind because they've upgraded. Are you talking yourself into it? Are you overstepping your value? Are you settling? Okay. Are you, if you, in other words, if you were your golden Buddha self, would you still go for this guy or girl? Okay. So if the answer is yes, but still manifesting for the right reasons is of paramount importance. And the reason should also always be this excites me, this will upgrade my life, this will be a good situation, not because my ego got hurt. Forget about that. We all learn lessons, we all get, you know what I mean, situations that teach us. God is laughing. I already forgot what I said, but anyway. So thought transmission and feeling transmission put together, I actually have a live like a long time ago similar to this one, but this is more, a little bit more precise and calibrated, is the most powerful combination on planet Earth. You start thinking about somebody deliberately in a certain way, doesn't matter what happened before, they will instantly get the signal from you. And the more the signal is coming out of your mind, the more they get it. And now it's not just in their mind, now they're taking action on it. Okay. Because there's only so long I feel like that somebody could be compelled to do something and not do it. You've experienced this yourself. You start thinking about somebody, you don't know why the fuck you're thinking about them. And then you're thinking of them again and again and again. And before you know it, you pick up the phone and you go, hey, I'm thinking about you. And but the thing is, this person transmitted their thoughts, or you catching their thoughts if you want to be on the same frequency. So from the beginning, you need to establish a frequency you want to be on. Okay. When you've got this pure passion towards them, I'm going to read this one because I want to get this right. You're on the same frequency with their highest version. Okay. You don't want the shitty version. We don't want the shitty version whatsoever. You already experienced it. You yourself need to be pure and passionate, loving life, confident, and all that jazz. produce the feeling of passion towards them without any expectations, meaning I'm not doing this manifestation meditation rather in order to get something. No, this is how things are from now on. This is just laying down the law. You are fucking crazy about me. And whenever I turn it on super high, you're melting on the floor in front of me. Whenever I instruct you mentally to do something, to get me flowers, to do this, that, and the other, to apologize, to say a certain word, to bend over backwards, I don't care what you want them to do. As long as it's benevolent, they're going to do it. They're going to come to you as if it's their idea. And you're going to be like, wow, that's so great. All you have to do is just sit there like a golden Buddha and vibrate the way that you want others to vibrate to you. Other people are literally powerless. I just did this the other day, 2 days ago, with somebody like a new employee. Um, and I really wanted them because they're really skilled. And I knew that like me, they're very busy, and to get into whatever for them to do something for me, I had to like I needed to kind of like I guess convince, but no convincing was necessary. I just said exactly what I said in my imagination to them. And I said to them in 5D, in my imagination, you are going to say, you cannot say no to me. You're saying yes to me. You don't even understand why, but you want to work with me just as bad as I want to work with you. And it's exactly what happened. I mean, literally, I heard the conversation on the phone back from my imagination. Not bragging, but it's the truth. But I'm sure you guys have your own examples. Let me read what Katja is reading. Writing, sorry. My son's father would repeat things to me I thought in my head. See, like I am such an angel in his life. He is so grateful for my help. He said I'm such an angel. Always said how grateful he was. You see, yeah. So they're getting the memo and they're reading it back to you. So you yourself have to be excited about it, not like, let me do this manifestation technique. Forget it. Forget it. You're laying down the new law. This is how this person is and will be from now on until such time I change my mind. That's it. Kaija says freaky at times. Freaky, yes, but what's the alternative? Not to get your way? Fuck that shit. Again, have to stress you have to be benevolent, but getting your way, it has to be an everyday affair for you guys. All right. So please comment if you have any questions. I'm going to just continue going through. So, all right, vibrating differently, okay, towards them sends them a different signal that they receive telepathically. Okay, if you only see them as your canvas to paint something on, it becomes easier. So your emotions are colors, they're paints, they're energy. They create something. They can create a beautiful marriage or a catastrophic breakup. Okay, extreme, yes, but I'm just saying this is the range. You can tune in to this guy or girl's version who wants to be married to you right now. How does it feel? You would be beyond yourself, right? If they called you up and said, I want to marry you. And yet it's up to you to orchestrate this. Don't wait for them to magically make up their mind. It never happens like this, okay? One of the people in a relationship is always the most dominant one, the most dominant energetically, not like controlling, dominant in terms of confidence. The more confident one has the narrative of the relationship. It's never done by magic, okay? Those women or men, or let's stay with women, those women who will tell you, oh yeah, he just knows what to do, are liars, okay? There's always this telepathic transmission. Listen, this is not manipulation, this is manifestation. If somebody's controlling, that's manipulation. So all you're doing is you're using your abilities to thought transmit and to feeling transmit. Get excited about this version, get really into it, like into a storybook, okay? And you will produce this feeling every single time you think of this person, okay? And this is how you establish this rapport energetically and telepathically with this version and this version only. That's all you're fucking interested in anyway. And before you know it, you're never, I mean, first of all, before you know it, this old version will fizzle out Or maybe if they're not visible to you right now in your reality, that will completely end. The separation will completely end. Just like it's never been. Because remember, going back to the beginning, all realities coexist in the same space. Like sometimes I catch myself during everyday things when I do something and I'm thinking of doing something else, going somewhere else, or to a dinner or to a meeting or this and that. And I imagine the meeting, and in my head, it's like the meeting already happened, and I'm just going through it like a tape. Okay, in that sense, you can go through different realities like tapes and start playing a new reality, if that makes any sense. So, okay, I already said that, but let me just reiterate. They could be hating on you today. Just extreme example. And yet you can turn them into the most loving, the most tender lover in the world. Why? Because you vibrating differently. Just try it out. Somebody who's pissed you off, somebody all of a sudden, for no other reason, having received no apology, no nothing, start vibrating towards them love. Just generally speaking, love. I love, but like sincerely. Okay, get worked up. There's something in that person that you already seen. Okay, and chances are, if you're in love with them, if you really want them back, you love certain things about them, amplify them. Okay, like with this guy who I work with, he's actually rather handsome, you know. And to me, when I first met him, we didn't didn't hit it off right off the start, and I was like, wow, that's too bad he's so nasty because he's so handsome. And so I worked off of that. Hey, I like handsome guys, whatever, even just to look at, if nothing else. So I convinced my mind that, this is what I'm going to work off of, and this is why I'm going to send him a certain other energy, other than the hate that has been going on between us for years and this and that. And he changed, I mean, but almost instantaneously. Within a day or two, he changed completely and continued changing. um, Katja is laughing. Haha. If even just to look at. Yeah, hey, it's nice. The landscape is nice. I'm vain. I'm gonna be the first one to admit it. Mm. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna reapply. So, if you, sorry, one second. If you're worried, if you're stressed, if you're sad, if you're, all these things, worry is a waste of time, first of all, okay? Because if you're creating your reality, what are you fucking worried about? Get off your ass and start deciding. And start vibrating the way that you want this person to vibrate back to you. It's just like I said in the audio, when I move, you move. When I feel love, when I feel lost, when I feel desirous of you, you feel the same way. Now it's my job to continue on this journey of this reality and this reality only. Don't pollute your experience with many different realities. Again, trillion, quadrillion of them in the same room with you. Your passion chooses only one version of that person. Okay. Sorry. Okay. The confidence now with which you're gonna do this. Katja says, always find the positive. Yes, the confidence, it has to come from you. Okay, you have to find yourself sexy. Okay, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and creatively. It's like you could say, I would marry me, or replace marry with another word. I don't know. Use your imagination. I'm not gonna say it on YouTube, okay? I would marry me, okay? If I'm working on myself, let's say, I gave you an example in my audio. I lost a lot of weight, you guys. Yeah, thank you, Katya, for spelling it out. I was like, listen, I'm afraid to say, but fuck it, I'll say it as an inspiration for everybody. I was like 168 pounds at one point, okay, because I got busy and the channel was new and it was an extra thing for me and blah blah blah. I just didn't pay attention. I was 168 pounds. I'm usually like 130, which is what I am now. So I shed 38 pounds in like, I think a month and a half, because I wanted to get my shit together. I started feeling sexy again. Things like that, mentally, discarding of certain things, pa pa pa. Finding yourself sexy gives you the power. Okay, you don't have to be a supermodel. You don't have to be like, I don't know who is, like Brad Pitt or whatever. That is not the point. But doing what you can to feel good about yourself, to be like, yeah, I'm all right. Like looking in the mirror and not criticizing yourself, which is why I said mentally. Okay, not criticizing yourself, not finding fault. Oh, you didn't do this and do and this. No, no, no. You're fine the way you are. There's always room for improvement. But as long as you're feeling good about yourself and you're uplifted, and really just kind of like, yeah, I I've got it going on. Let me tell you something. There were days in my life when I was looking stunning, but feeling like shit inside, and nobody would look at me. And there were days in my life when I had zero makeup on, okay? And people would stare at me. What is the difference? The energy. The energy of confidence. If I come out confident, nobody can resist me, but nobody. And so, even at the distance, like I said in my audio, you can imagine this SP. And when you're confident like this, with whatever business you have going on, whatever career, in other words, you find yourself so mad sexy that you can touch somebody and they turn to gold. In other words, you touch them and they're yours, kind of deal. In your mind, it needs to click in. If I want you, I fucking got you. Don't worry about it. We don't need to, no agreement, no convincing necessary. No, no. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. Okay, you're gonna fall madly in love with me. Doesn't matter what happened before, and you are going to be completely gaga for me. Okay, until such time I change my mind. Maybe I won't, maybe I will. But listen, again, words of warning here. This is real. And this is very powerful. So only do it with people you genuinely intend to have a relationship with. Because, like I said, sometimes I've had these situations where the person continues being crazy about me, but I'm already in a relationship that I wanted to stay in. And it could become like a stalker situation. Just saying, this could become your problem. I know you might not think so right now, but, just kind of think ahead. um so with this kind of magnetism, being okay with yourself, validating yourself, your faults and all. Listen, I've, with a very rare exception of one or two, okay, people in my coaching, 99.999% of my clients are adorable, beautiful, gorgeous, sensational people. I mean it. Okay, so you owe yourself validation, like overdue. It's overdue. It's overdue. But you validating yourself and saying, I'm sexy, I'm the hottest chick in the game. Which is how you should like spring out of bed. I'm the hottest chick in the game, or I'm the hottest dude in the game. Like, what game? My life, or what's up? I swear, I'll make a t-shirt. Hottest chick in the game. Oh my god, so funny. My face hurts from laughing. Katya, that's why I said not the neighbor. Yeah, not the neighbor. I know. Too close to home. Oh, that's what you meant. Not okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you change your mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice merch time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did this little episode. Excuse me, with T-shirts, but they were being produced somewhere overseas, and I had no control of it. I want to try it again, but this time make it couture. In other words, make them right, etc. So because I didn't have any time, so lots of things coming. Anyway, um, with this kind of magnetism, you can have whomever you want. Like sometimes people ask me, "Can you meet a celebrity?" Duh, they're people, aren't they? If you set your mind on it, if you throw out an intention, any intention, okay, right now, right here in this moment, okay, it's 3:55 p.m. in New York right now. In this moment, how long does it take me to align with the parallel reality in which somebody is crazy about me? This. Okay, of course the prep before it is what nobody talks about, okay, on the internet, is that you have to part with certain insecurities, with things that, oh no, but they might prefer somebody else, oh no, but the third party is more important, oh no, but why are you advocating against yourself? You need to be the best advocate for yourself. So if you choose something, it chooses you back. But don't come up with this story of like somebody else is better or I don't deserve it. No, this is going to backfire on you. You need to be your own biggest fan. Of course, they're going to choose me. Like, who else are they going to choose me? I already chose them. So, of course, they're going to choose me. And if you utilize your energy, your passion, your, I don't even know how it works. It just does. You start thinking of them in a different way. And that's all the conviction that you need. Meaning, if you're convinced this is how they feel towards you, they feel that way towards you. And this version will pop right out of the quantum field of the myriads of versions. And listen, on one day, you can switch from a nasty version to a heavenly version. I've done that. Okay, this is how close they are. So like time doesn't matter, nothing really matters. It's you. Are you convinced? Okay, in other words, are you convinced that they are lusting after you? Are you convinced that they want to marry you? Whatever, wherever you are. Maybe you're not dating to get married. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever it is you're doing, it's so fucking easy, because if you're convinced, you're 100% convinced, in 1 second you can do it. Okay? And by 3:57, which it is now, they are now thinking of you. It didn't even take 2 minutes, but I was just talking for 2 minutes. Oh my God, Katya. The celebrity is still a member of our realities, meaning we have control of what we see and have. Yeah, listen, there's so many. Again, it's all about intention, I think, in celebrities' case, or anybody's case, actually. If you have the intention to, let's just say, meet a certain celebrity, which in the past I did, and it was so mad easy. Oh my God, it was so mad easy. The universe just arranges everything in your favor. Just, you're gonna, like, some friend will take you out or this and that, and through something, you'll meet every fucking single celebrity that you want to. Okay, and a couple of them really did hit on me. Okay, I'm not gonna say ever who, but they're very famous. Anyway, back to the topic of discussion. Worry is a profound waste of time. Worry delays things. So instead of worrying, let's start deciding. Let's start working. Okay, let's start imagining, okay, now that this situation is as I wanted, how do I feel? And then act directly from that situation. You don't care if you run into this SP again, or if you see them on social media with somebody else. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They have already changed their mind. They already, that situation is the echo of the past. You need to focus on the one that is truly desirous of you, and only you. Be like a little kid who knows the secret the world wants to know. Okay, oh, if you only knew what's going on right now in my head, oh my God, you would just die. Okay, you could say, because you are doing it with your mind, and your mind, I mean, it can create anything. You can tell them anything telepathically, you can feel anything. So the fabrication of the feeling, okay, the way that you're feeling about them, I mean, it could range. Like I said also in my audio from before, a feeling of apology, getting an apology from somebody feels a certain way, feels like, oh, okay, vindication kind of deal, redemption, blah, blah, blah. A feeling of, I miss you, I love you, I've made the biggest mistake, I want to marry you. So a proposal feels a different way. So this is a sea, an ocean of feelings you're working with here. You're working with all of these things to put on other people, just like canvases. Other people are canvases, and you're putting the paint over them. Now again, if this person truly disrespected you or abused you or this and that, This is not part of this conversation. um Person, this is just part of reality. There's some whatever people who choose to behave in questionable ways. You don't need to take it on yourself and take responsibility for the entire world. I think it's what you choose to keep in your life and what you choose to learn from the mistakes is what matters. But this is not part of the conversation. Why? Because chances are these people who mistreated you, you do not resonate with whatsoever. It was just there to teach you something, to realign you, blah, blah, blah. That's not part of the conversation. You be the judge of where you are in that today. Somebody you cannot psych yourself up about, somebody you cannot be passionate about, somebody you cannot possibly see yourself humanly letting go of what they did. Toss it in the garbage, my darling, and start brand new. Okay, that would be my advice. Because the and make get rid of it as gently as you possibly can. But in my experience, toxic people don't go gently. That's why they're toxic. Anyway, Anna, what if they know about energy feeling? Will they allow it? It doesn't matter what they know. You can even tell them, this is what I'm doing on you. Okay, and they will be powerless, completely powerless. You can tell them I'm not afraid anymore, even to, like, some people say, you should really manifest in secret and not tell anybody. I'm not even afraid of that anymore, because nobody can fuck with your energy. You can be fearful that somebody will affect it, or you could just be like, I'm the only power in my universe, which is the truth. Okay, so I hope I answered that, Anna. So one more time, when you've got this pure passion towards them that is not polluted with anything, okay, and this is excuse me, when you've got this pure passion towards them and it's not polluted with energy, other than any other energy other than passion, okay, no resentment, nothing, no ill will, okay, between you two, this is the highest version available of them, because you feeling like you've already rendezvoused with that highest version of them, and you are the high that will produce this person who's going to make you feel high in love. Does that make sense? You are falling in love with yourself in that sense, validating yourself, feeling sexy, feeling confident, approving of yourself. Then you are empowered to go out into the world and affect anybody, absolutely anybody. Nobody is off limits, okay? But nobody. Um, this is very important. Gearing up for a manifestation, knowing the flow of energy is very important. And I really meant to talk about this like ages ago, but here we are. When you're tired and cranky, when you're resentful and this and that, it's not the time to create. Okay, you need to really build your energy up purely and genuinely. So knowing this flow, when to create, when to chill the fuck out, is also very important. You don't need to be on in that sense every minute of the day. You don't. You can create for some time, paint your reality, your beautiful canvas, and then take a chill pill, because when you're on the high frequency, you create the best. When you're not, you're going to create, you're going to rendezvous with the wrong versions, wrong circumstances, this and that. So having this intelligence and that wisdom of acting only from the world of high frequency, when you feel a high frequency, you're in the world of a high frequency. It's okay to feel down sometimes or whatever, cranky and this and that. Not maybe not down completely, but excuse me, cranky, but recognize that you're cranky. Go do something about it. Okay, go chillax, go take a bubble bath, which I fucking love. Took one this morning, my tradition for Saturday. Um, and then get to it when you're in that world of excitement, of passion, when there's nobody else to make anything out of, essentially. Is the entire universe is made of you. So you know when you're on and you know when you're off. Create only when you're on. Okay. Use your power wisely in that sense. So there was one other thing that I really wanted to read. Hold on one second. Ah, here it is. If your passion is tainted with low vibrational emotions, meaning towards your SP, you need to work that out before going back in and trying to manifest. Okay. You really, really do. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to put that tainted feeling or tainted emotion onto your SP. So be really committed. This is why coaching first, manifesting SP second. Okay. Finding yourself, finding your golden Buddha status, and then implementing that energy that you've now acclimated to. Okay. That's your whole quantum shift. When you're feeling different, when the tonality of your being shifts, you're in a different world. Automatically you're in a different world. So then whatever you want just comes to you. You are summoning it with your magnetism. It's never the other way around. If you're working very hard, you either not being honest with yourself where you are really vibrationally and emotionally speaking, or you don't understand something, or maybe there's something still there that you need to talk out. And we do talk. It's not therapy by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, big difference between me and therapists. Although there's some similarities, I agree. I employ the same kind of methods, if you will. But I mean, of course, people talk in my coaching, so that's the similarity. And so do I. And I do the analysis, but with a very different agenda. I don't want to keep you in coaching forever. I really want you to get it and get the fuck out and live your life. Okay. So it's not about affirmations. He loves me, he loves me, he loves me. It's about feeling it yourself. Can you feel the love yourself? Okay. Can you really feel the love yourself towards this person? Or are you not able to? Are you too resentful? Are you too bogged down by the thoughts of a third party, by the fears, etc., etc.? Do you feel like you can affect this person easily? In other words, without repeating 10,000 affirmations, it's about the feeling it yourself, projecting it out into the universe, and everyone responding to that signal. In other words, if I'm sending you love, if I'm sending you, you are lusting after me, you want me, you're gonna call me, and you're not even going to understand why, like I already said, but you want a relationship with me, you want to come back, you want to do X, Y, and Z. You don't have to understand because this is my reality, you could say. But if I'm instructing you to do that, you are powerless. Nobody will come to your rescue. But nobody. Whatever Lola wants. Okay, guys, what is this? Good, the snake charmer music. Oh, I don't know what that is, Katya. What is this? Oh, I think I know what that means. Anyway, any questions, guys? Everybody who's watching, so I can take a little peek through my notes. Remember, it's not about the worry. Whatever you can do to descend from worry and go into passion and go into inspiration, go into relaxation. This is the premise from which to manifest easy, 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 easy peasy. Okay. Katja. Oh, Katja says when the guy plays the flute thing and the snake is in its trance. Do 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 do. However it goes, I know exactly what you mean. That is so funny. They usually play a song along with that. Yeah, I know exactly. It's in my head, but I can't quite sing it right now. Oh my god, too funny. Oh, so funny. Okay, let me look through my notes. If you want to try it tonight, try it on somebody or whenever you're watching it and go rewatch from the beginning. Try it on somebody you don't really care about. Okay, it doesn't have to be actually a romantic relationship, but somebody maybe I know it's more fun with a romantic interest, let's just say. Try it out on somebody though. It doesn't have to be a romantic interest. It could be somebody, whatever, neutral, totally, this and that. Start vibrating purposely towards them something lovely. more than something lovely, something intense. Okay, you want results quick, guys? Be intense about it. This does not mean to be on 24/7, just like already discussed. This just means that when you are intense, be present with it, be 100% categorically unobstructed with other options of reality. This is the reality, and this is the only thing we're doing. No to everything else, kind of deal. Let me see what Anna wrote. Anna, what does the mirror reflection technique mean? Well, this is kind of really apropos, isn't it? The mirror technique is quite literally this, and I believe I have an audio on my channel. The mirror technique is literally you projecting out into the universe, into the quantum field, what you want to see. Okay? Try out the opposite. Be pissed off and never get off the pissed offness horse, kind of deal. All right. Just be pissed off, and things will come in that will piss you off even more. And before you know it, you want pissed off person. Now try the opposite. The empty universe doesn't give a shit. Try the opposite. Okay. Look for lovely things. Remember all the lovely memories. Remember all the magnificent lovemaking with this person. Remember all the lovely words that they told you. Remember all the beautiful features and this and that. Things that really make you happy about them. Okay. And now you're woo, on another ground, right? Remember those things that they told you when you were together and they appreciated you. That has more power, more energy, more intensity, okay, more creative power than your new, 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 new. Maybe it's not me, maybe it's the third party. New, 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 new. You like that? It has more power when you are intense about things, when you're using things to your advantage, because you'll notice when you're getting on the horse of, yes, this feels good. I remember this. I remember that, what they told me. I remember how they made me feel when we were. I'm only laughing because Katya is laughing in the comments. I remember all of that beautiful shit that they did for me. That makes me feel like the hottest chick in the game. That makes, not because they authorized it, not because they approved of it, but because I came in with that energy. Chances are, listen, not everybody's all, metaphysically and manifestationally challenged. They do get glimpses of manifestation, but when you did that, you went in with the confidence. You went in with the, I'm the hottest chick in the game. Put on that costume of the hottest chick in the game before you become the hottest chick in the game. This does not mean psychosis, by the way, that you're putting on somebody else's personality. This is just putting on the highest version of yourself, the most excited, passionate, really confident, and really kind of sexy. What else can I say? Sexy doesn't just mean being sexually attractive. Sexy means I really feel one, I approve of myself, I'm all right, I belong. You know what I mean? The things that your parents didn't give you, I'm sure. Sense of belonging and all that jazz. uh, but the mirror technique, Anna, I got carried away as I usually do. The mirror technique is just, I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at myself in this person, especially in personal relationships. You are looking at yourself. Whatever you did before, kind of did. So if you want to change it, new story, new energy. Could be radically different from before. And you may have no reason to offer this vibration to them other than you want to see something different. This what I just gave you today, honestly, is how I manifested change in anybody I really wanted to. But again, it has to be exciting to me. It has to like, I could be in the same room with somebody, or they could not be, they could be whatever, on the moon, some fucking where. Okay, and in the minute I visualize them and I change my vibration, my heart chakra produces a different kind of vibration that, it's like energy. You saw the thumbnail. Go look at the thumbnail of the live, where the girl is literally holding something, and it's like a remote control, and the energy comes out of it. It's like the energy comes out of you and informs that person, hey, Hello, knock knock. Somebody's calling and they're answering the call. They're always answering the call. There's no such thing that they're not. Maybe there's a slight hesitation at first, but the more insistent you are, the more they will be totally infused with this energy, and there will be no mercy to them. You will drive them completely crazy, and that's what you want. So it's super easy to do. Okay. I need to wrap up. Ketvi, Katya. Somebody do what? I do it with my new pet cat. Hey, that's somebody, okay? That's somebody, all right. Zara, hi Zara. Thank you for the rose. Oh, guys, all the women, I so totally forgot. Happy March 8th is the International Women's Day. Totally forgot. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, if anybody has any questions, speak now, or I'm going to wrap up. Hmm. Oh yeah, Katya, I was wondering why that was. So get inspired to receive, make it fun for yourself. This doesn't have to be this difficult ordeal. Simply because you think it's a difficult ordeal doesn't make it a big difficult ordeal. You know these people that they're left and right attracting SPs and getting married and this and any other. Ask yourself, why are you manifesting this person? Okay, it should be, the answer should always be because we will have so much fun, because this will be so pleasurable, not because I gotta get married. It's on my checklist. Okay, it's on my to-do list. I gotta check this off for society, for mama drama panorama. No, not like that, darling. You genuinely have to want a person who is passionate about you, and this is for fun only. Okay, if you have an allergy towards this word, then there's something to really look at, because life is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be strategy and how do I do and how much weight do I lose. I mean, lose the weight if you feel good, losing weight. But again, it goes back to how you feel, not society, not your mom, not the neighbor, not the this, not the that, not even how what SP wants. What do you want? What do you want? Do you want this guy and girl because that's what you really want? The answer is yes. Then get excited about this proposition and don't make it difficult for yourself. Truly, it's not that difficult. And if it seems difficult to you, then come into my coaching and I'll explain further. But this is all you do. You manufacture feelings out of your own heart, out of your own imagination, out of your own concentration. You're sending it to the person or the thing. Could be money, could be whatever, the cat. Could be an inanimate object, quite frankly. You ever talk to inanimate objects? They fix themselves. I've done it plenty of times. Okay, so it's the energy with which you go in, and do not wait for anybody else to do this for you. It ain't happening. You are going to have to show up with a pure energy that everybody will be a part of and everybody will be affected. No questions asked, telepathically, no maneuvering, no convincing necessary. Okay? Katya, in my world, I'm the beauty standard. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In your world, you're the queen. In your world, you're the only one. You're the only woman literally available for this guy. This is not a joke. This is not an exaggeration. This is not like, craziness. This is how you think. I'm the hottest chick in the game, and I'm the only chick for this person, for this guy. I'm the only guy for this girl. That's it. There's nobody else. And if there is somebody else, you introduce them. Just like you introduce them, you need to unintroduce them and say goodbye to them energetically. But again, all of this is the makeup of your emotions projected out, yes, like onto a mirror. All right, I hope that this was helpful. Go rewatch Big thumbs up, okay, to everybody who's watching. Thumb up so that everybody else can learn and benefit from this video. Next week we're going to have a live, but on 22nd, Katya is coming again to have a live with me. So that's going to be a special one. So make sure you mark your calendars. The 22nd on Saturday, Katya will be part of the live. Yay! Let me read Katya and Anna's comments and I will wrap up. Katya says, I do that a lot with items. My lights remedies themselves, right? I still had a pro book, but I said, hell nah, I'm not doing this. Got rejected by same person and another. All is good. New reality. Yeah. Had a pro look. Oh, for the lights. Never mind. Yeah, all good. Yeah, new reality. Exactly. Yeah, completely in a new reality. Fabulous. Yeah, I have my wrench, she says. Anna, this must be the reason when seeing two odd people together. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, one of those odd people has their shit together and they're in charge of the narrative. Listen, somebody is always in charge of the narrative, and I'd rather that person be you. That you haven't been accustomed to doing that, I think is the problem, the entire problem. That you're taking the cue from other people to make you happy rather than making yourself happy in these deliberate ways. That's the whole situation. Anna says, we could do this with everything, right? Yes, absolutely anything. Anyone and anything. Okay? Anyone and anything. All right, you guys. Remember, why am I chasing the high when I am the high? Okay? Everybody only wants you. That's how you have to think. So now that everybody wants you, what is your energy? Now that you are given complete freedom to assume whatever the fuck you want to assume, and to direct energy however you see fit, provided you're benevolent. What do you want to do? Doesn't this become fun, guys? I think it's tremendous fun. Hi, Eva. Thank you guys so much. Big hug, big kiss. Until next time. Ciao, ciao. Thank you, Katya. Thank you, everybody. Go rewatch and thumbs up. Ciao, cacao. And all the information is below if you have any questions. Bye bye for now.